to decay. I've lost my edge on all my friends. The lights are feeling lonely and the memories never seem to end. Consider the lilies, but my mail still will come, even if I shut the blinds and pretend that there is no sun. And honestly, it ain't all bad, but man, oh man, yeah, what a drag. It's all so crazy, but you say it so easily. I'll mess it up 1,000 times, yeah, that's my main ability. I censor myself, which is semi-ironic, cause the movement in my mind is really catatonic. I say anything I believe, but only on holiday, cause if it was weekly, I'd probably get locked away. I do not care anymore, so you have to hear me scream about my unrelenting hate for anyone that's mean. And I get it now, baby, don't get sad. Man, oh man, yeah, what a drag. Wake up at noon, broken glass in the carpet. There's people in the lawn, and they know it's not dark yet, and my brain is losing water. The ground's giving way. My prefrontal cortex is starting to decay. I've lost my edge on all my friends. The lights are feeling lonely, and the memories never seem to end. I've considered the lilies, but my mail still will come, even if I shut the blinds and pretend that there is no sun. And honestly, it couldn't get worse. Oh man, what a drag.
Welcome everybody to Waupaca Local Live for September, and we're really excited to be here. We are doing our show from Zoom. The pandemic is raging again, so we thought we would be safe and protect our musicians and staff at the radio station. I'm Marcy Boku and my lovely co-host Barb Lackey, and Barb is going to introduce our band for tonight.
Hi.
Go ahead, Barb.
Hi. We've been talking with Sylas Schaberg and Luke Moat, and they are some musicians that we've run into and are really excited to have on tonight. So if you heard that last song, the first song of the show tonight, I was just kind of given set a little bit of a hard time because it was like I hadn't heard that punk before with the upright bass. So you're having a bad weekend. It sounds like. You want to tell us any more about how you wrote that song?
Yeah, well, that song, that just kind of came when I was moving between having a job and getting back into college, and I had this like empty time where I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of like hung out at my house, and then I started writing that song, and then boom, there you go.
And we were looking for you to get some original music, so that's what you wrote.
I got 3 coming up.
That's right, but that was a good one. So Sylas, you sent a biography to us, and it said that in that you had like to play bluegrass, punk, classic rock, and it stems from your festival upbringing. So I wondered if you could tell us a little bit more about that.
So yeah, that's pretty funny. So both our parents, Luke and mine, went to bluegrass festivals all of our lives. My dad's in Sloppy Joe, my mom's in Irene's Garden, which is a soul dance band similar that always plays at all those bluegrass festivals. And Luke's dad, Tim, is this amazing harmonica player. Well, yeah, he shows up at every jam like that we have just randomly, and it's so amazing. He'll walk out of the dark with his harmonica. He'll be ready to play this killer tune. And it actually, there was a long time where folk, like dwelling people, went to folk punk and just like incorporated more punk music into their folk style music. And that was like bands like AJJ, the Mountain Goats. And actually his younger brother taught me all of these bands inadvertently because he was a year older than me, so we didn't hang out at that. And then I learned all the music that you were playing at the same time you were playing it without knowing. So that's how that happened.
That's a cool story. I like the image of growing up going to festivals, and because anyone that goes to festivals, you always see these little kids running around that are really into the music. So we kind of
Don't worry, they grow up responsibly. Everything
They
goes
grow
good.
up responsibly.
Well,
Awesome.
I'm guessing that there was never a time when you weren't playing music like such a little kid at these festivals. You probably at least were banging on a can. I mean, since the beginning, right?
Yeah,
Guitar?
so I actually picked up piano when I was 5 or 6, but that's not a bluegrass instrument. Picked up guitar way later, but I was always, like trying to play bluegrass. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
trying to play bluegrass and not knowing how to play any instruments.
I didn't play anything until I was like 14, 15. That was the first time I picked up an instrument.
What'd you pick up?
This bass.
Right on.
A bass.
A
yeah.
bass, okay.
And
Yeah.
Then, and then other things, other stringed instruments at festivals.
But otherwise, it's always just been like
Yeah.
you want to fit in with those like jam groups that are going on every night.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be left out.
That's what I was picturing, that you'd be right in there with them. But 14 years old, that was pretty old. You were probably running around then, I guess, the the kids.
Free reign.
Yeah, free reign at that point. Yeah.
So you started with the bass. That was like formal lessons then for you.
No, I guess I would go to festivals and I just kind of wanted to pick something up, and I found somebody selling an old bass. And I picked it up, and then that night I played at, I don't know, some sort of like birthday party or something for somebody. I don't remember, but that's kind of just where it started. And then when you go to festivals a lot and when you play an instrument, you have no choice but to learn, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to teach you.
Yeah, like okay, so I picked up guitar at 14, and I've been playing since, but like I didn't learn formally either, so I would go to these festivals and I would have to learn formally from like Dale Reichert or something, or like Art Stevenson or my dad. It's just like it's cool to have those people around teaching you how to play correctly. Adam Grewell, he taught me how to solo. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's like that's sort of what music is in a lot of different genres, like jazz, for instance. It's a mentorship. So whether it's formal lessons or not, having older accomplished musicians to emulate is really important. So you were really lucky to have that. That's cool.
So necessary for kids that are at those festivals, because if they're not admitting to helping them learn anything, like they're just gonna not do it ever and not have any interest in it. So you don't want that. Rather have these kids like running around playing awesome instruments and solos and stuff. It's better for them.
That's cool.
That's what I've always pictured. Go ahead.
Oh, you said you played piano too, Sylas. Did you take lessons with piano, and where did you take lessons from?
So originally with piano, I was started out at Noel Fine Arts Center doing lessons under some college students. I think they were grad groups, so like people who were specializing in piano and like I think teaching piano, but I'm not sure about that. My mom would know better. And then I kind of moved away from that around middle school and I was still formally taught, but just by some my friend Karen who lives down the road. And so it was, it wasn't as formal, but it was still like she's this genius at teaching people any instrument. So it was formal. It was as formal as it gets in my mind, but in actual formality.
So in your bio, you also mentioned that your music can go from poetic and sweet to loud and angry. So is that about love and justice, or is it like there's this, yeah.
So that carries over from a lot of those folk punk artists. One of my, like I don't know if I can actually mention their names, but like they're more fluent and getting emotion across, right? And one of the people that I've been jamming with at festivals lately is Jeff Sachs, who plays in Sloppy Joe, and he can like separate his voice from his body. It does not sound like him at all. And that's like something I've always wanted to replicate in my music, is just sounding like having an arch or alter ego or whatever. It's pretty fascinating to watch.
So like a musical alter ego, not like a character alter ego, but
Oh yeah, musical. If I were
I'm not sure what
character alter ego, I think I'd have some get up on, right?
think I know what you mean, Silas. When you were playing in the barn over here at the Shire, I remember you were, I don't know if you would qualify it as yodeling, but I mean, it's the closest I've heard of anybody that's, I mean,
No,
you're
that's,
close.
I know what song you're talking about. Snakes and Waterfalls.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's yodeling. And I tried really, I actually had my girlfriend in the car all the time when I was trying to learn how to yodel, and she could do it better because she has a higher register. I would get jealous, so I had to compete, and I finally got it down. So
Everybody who heard, we were all kind of blown away. We thought that was really great. And just in the first song you did too, What a Drag, there's like this one point where you just kind of bring out a little bit louder voice. So I'm guessing maybe that's what you mean by your alter ego.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. It's separate from myself because it's just music, and I have to not be homogenous in music.
Well, I enjoyed it. So are we ready for another song, Marcy? Oh, Marcy's muted because she doesn't want to make
Yeah,
us
sorry, I
crackle.
was muted. Yeah, no, I think it is time for another song. Facebook land, everyone that's listening, this is Sylas and Luke, and they're coming to us live from, I think, somebody's basement. I'm not sure.
Similar.
Through
It's
Zoom.
2-story but open.
Yeah, first floor.
Okay, sorry, open studio. They have a little bit of a live audience where they are, and you guys are the remote audience. Let's hear another song from
And
Sylas
this one's
and
going to
Luke.
be called, this one's called Dead Before February.
Start listening to the blood in my eyes. Lost left with winter, and I thought my fears. Snow left a moment, not without home. He dreamt we'd see those lights, and he left alone. There not empty, waiting wild up heads. It's better than any 8-hour shift. Billy held wonders we'd hope to see, making dimes in the gutter, selling our souls living free. If we're not on a train, when springtime rolls around, I'll be skipping bail, I'll be gone out of town. I'll try not to think if I'm doing you wrong. Billy scribbles the songs help you along. These lyrics are crossed out, my writing's barely sane. Empty spare change, quiet nights aren't the same. I refuse to live different. No gods, no masters. I've learned to laugh in spite of life's disasters. Vagrants tried carrying suit-covered pride. They never take you alive, so I guess that's why you left. If we're not on a train, when springtime rolls around, I'll be skipping Bill, I'll be gone out of town. No, I'm still guilty, left you before, made many a mistake, our fate lies in store. Still resent the fact that you didn't lie. Walls were coming down, but man, you had more time. We could've jumped there, afraid, made mistakes, but back by June, you passed me by on the highway to ruin. Smoke's starting to clear, coffee's running thin, let's dance in the misery, joint was Dead Before February.
I love that ending. That's great.
Thank you very
I
much.
really love the lyrics of that song.
I jotted down
Honestly,
dancing in the misery. That was a really good line. I mean,
yeah.
I'd like to hear it again when I will hear it again, but that was sounding like really good poetics in there, as you mentioned. So.
I'll tell you what, if
Wow.
you can find me when I'm like busking on the street and you're like, play Dead Before February, I will undoubtedly play it for you. Anyone who's listening too, but you got to make the request. Otherwise,
Have you guys, so Silas, have you recorded any of your music? Is it available anywhere? Are you to that point, or do you even want
not
to do
really.
that?
I do have some other projects I'm part of, like Hiro Kaya and this punk band named the Steedles that are out there in Stevens Point, but that's not as tight as the bluegrass situation that I got going on here with Luke, and we don't have anything recorded. We might have like a live performance that someone videotaped. That's about it. Lily might have, my girlfriend, but otherwise
Well,
no.
just to emphasize to everybody, these are all original songs, so there is something about, getting your original music somehow recorded. I mean, there are people that don't want to do that, and I get that too, but just kind of curious if you have any plans to just put your own music out there so that people can hear it and listen to the lyrics.
It's in hard consideration, but a lot of I have to wait till I'm allotted an amount of cash for a subscription service, and also to buy any sort of pickups for instruments. But otherwise, that is a plan in the near future.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's good to hear because I think it would be great. Awesome. Well, we really like that song. And the other thing I wanted to just quickly mention before Barb starts telling you or asking you more questions is we do know that today is a special day and it's somebody's birthday, Silas.
Yeah, 2 decades.
All right, just had to throw that up there just for fun. Happy
My uncle
birthday.
once made an edit with me and Hulk Hogan. It was like Sylas versus Hulk Hogan, WWF.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's just really nice that you decided to do this on your birthday. So thank you for honoring us with that. Barb, what else are we going to talk about?
Yeah,
here?
it's a shame you didn't pursue wrestling, but I guess I'm glad you went the music route for the rest of our enjoyment.
I'm pretty into music.
Yeah, it's probably a good choice.
Well, you can always fall back on it.
Yeah.
If the music doesn't work
I
out.
always got a backup.
So I've got a few other questions. I don't know, I'm going to jump around a little bit, but what would both of you, you can answer one at a time, what would you say has made you grow the most as a musician since you started? You can start, Silas.
Okay, yeah. So I would say for growth, it's an open invitation constantly. It's having that like anyone is willing to play at any moment, but you have, you of course have to start that. You have to initiate that conversation. You have to join that jam circle, but the invitation never closes. Like you go to festivals, go up to a fire, start playing. That's it. And then you're in. That's what I needed. I needed to just be pushed into the jam circle.
No, I'm like, okay, almost the same thing. I was going to say being pushed, beyond what you want to do. Like I remember I had been playing for like a year and I was at Rochelle, actually, Bluegrass in the Pines. And I went down and it was the middle of the night and there was this group of people playing and half of them were in bands that were like in the actual festival. And they had me play and they're like all soloing around the group because that's how a lot of these songs go. And it gets to me and they all just back off and kind of force me to go forward.
And you have to do that.
It's stuff like that. And you learn how and you get better and you see how they do it and you're kind of just forced to try.
Yeah, playing with like Jeff Sachs and Steph and stuff. So they're my dad's bandmates, but they were just like kind of shoved me in. They're like, you got it. And as long as you have that confidence or sort of like drive from someone else, it helps the most.
Yeah. Even if you don't, they force you.
Yeah, then you're good.
You can't stop playing.
That's really interesting. I never knew that was something that was, that is a powerful way to learn, isn't it? Just from family circle or the circle of music. But so
community musicians.
And Marcy's in a band. She learned from her family. You had a constant
Yeah.
circle of musicians.
Right on.
Yeah, and your family,
Yeah.
Silas, same,
Yeah,
same
I think
idea.
I mean, it's definitely not the only way to get to music, but I think it's a privilege in a way that if you are raised in the music community, it becomes sort of just, it's like,
Second
you
nature.
brush your teeth, you play music. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's second nature, and it's almost an expectation if you are a player, which I think is great. And I feel like that leads into my whole philosophy on open mics. I really feel there's a need for more open mics, and I have learned since you sent your bio in that you guys are doing open mics up in Point. So can you tell us a little bit about that? And do you welcome kids in for that?
Oh, of course. So I've actually played like I think it's 4 open mics now at this location, which is at the coffee shop downtown in Point. And
Okay.
I've been mostly playing whole sets, but I've had like I had someone from the Funkyard Dealers who won UWSP's Battle of the Bands a couple years ago come up. His name's Pete. He just played some sick, like it's just on my acoustic guitar, just ripped out like shredding up and down the neck, and singing at the same time. And I need those people to come because otherwise I'm just gonna be sitting there acting like I know what I'm doing when I really in
Yeah.
actuality need people to show me what to do here.
Okay. Yeah. So your open mic that you guys are running is or maybe it's just you, Silas, on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it's
Are there any
12
other
to
open
2.
mics?
12 to 2 in
12 to
downtown
2.
Point. Pretty recognizable, good location, great. I always
Yeah.
accept people who want to play something or even not play instruments. Just like I've had people at my other open mics come up and do forensics pieces. I would want that.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
want that art.
Spoken poet, spoken word.
Yeah.
So are you getting a pretty diverse mix of people and, and styles so far?
Well, so far it's not been like huge groups all at once. I've had like a couple people come through and be like, "Oh, there's an open mic going on," and then like jump up and play. And those people have blown me away the most because they're not just like sitting there waiting for music or waiting to be handed an instrument or anything. They just are like, "I'm gonna play this," and I'm like, "Yes, please do that." I need water or coffee or
Nice.
something, but I also want to watch everyone
Well,
play stuff.
it's been a little rough though. I mean, we're going into almost the end of a second year with COVID, so that's has put a damper on a lot of gatherings and especially public in venues. I think there hasn't been as much of that, but
Yeah.
hopefully we can get beyond this. And but I guess your whole description of being amongst musicians, if we can get open mics to be at that environment for people that maybe aren't even aware that there are festivals, because I think there's a lot of people that aren't. But anyway,
I think
as
it
much
would be
as
really important for anyone that wants to be part of an open mic or just have that platform to play their music is to just think about it how I think about the jam circle, and that you just kind of have to be either you walk in or you're pushed in, or you don't play music, and that's that. But those decisions are there, and you need to make them, and people will enjoy no matter what you play. That's the thing. Someone will.
Well, I have a
Okay.
question about people, not musicians, but like the people who are listening to music and buying music and, especially in regard to like university campus station radio that I listen to a lot. And, there's bluegrass and folk and jazz on the radio. And I just wondered if you felt like the mainstream college student age person is listening to that kind of music. I mean, what seems to be, you're in a circle of, okay, go ahead. You know what I mean, getting after me.
Yeah, no, I actually had the pleasure of going on a radio station for the college station in Point here, and I was not paying attention to the messages, so I got this like text message while I was getting out of work and like taking a bath that was like, "Hey, we'll see you at the studio in like 15 minutes," and I got up and out, and I was out the door with like a leather jacket and like some beat up jeans, just running to UWSP. And then it was, I think that all the music they have in there, which is there are rotations that they have to do, which are specific to like music that is popular in the broad scheme. I'm fine with that. Like you're gonna hear it more than once, but it's usually stuff I've never heard, even in like the heaviest rotation, is stuff that I've never listened to. And I think that rather than appeal to the demographic of a college teen, it should be like that. Like you are discovering new music endlessly, whether you like to or not, because there will be something that you enjoy.
They have it seems like a wide range of music for all different tastes. So do you think a lot of the students that I know you're in school, are you in school? Luke, are you also in college?
I actually just graduated, so.
So I'm just wondering if people are listening to the campus station and hearing the different music that you guys are.
Yeah, no, I like the music that they play, because every once in a while I'm like, I can't listen to my own music. I want to listen to something that's actually good. And I turn on the radio. And boom.
Well, we have 2 more songs to go. So what about number 3, Scraping by Waltz? Are you guys ready for that one?
Yes, we are. And this goes by an alternative name too, which is the Lurch Waltz, but I'm not picky. So, whatever. All right. Lurch or Scraping by Waltz. Stuck in the lust of emotion brought on by your hands. Let's walk this ourselves to this dystopian land. See, life's not for cynics, but I'm not a fan. So I might find the answer at the end of this can. To walk, to waltz, to live through the faults. Man, can I jump through all these vaults? Hold my hand, we'll escape rugged lands. But I'm stuck at the bottom, drowning under the sand. Our bond won't fall short, we know dreams may be preserved through weekly tragedies. Please just act happy around company. The cost of our attempt to prove love isn't free. We'll escape one day, I know that be true. How we get there, I haven't a clue. Cause life left off walking and I didn't grab my shoe. But I wouldn't play catch up if it weren't for you. To waltz, to live through the faults. Man, can I jump through all these vaults? Please trust the plan, I'll ditch the drugs and the scam. This bottle and throttle, they go hand in hand. Sweetheart, I know, just talking your ear off. Got nothing to say, but my mouth it never stops. And if I'm being honest, I hope we get lost. Let's never turn back, cause we're all that we got. To waltz, to live through the faults. Man, can I jump through all these vaults? Hold my hand, we'll escape rugged land. But I'm stuck at the bottom, drowning under the sand. To waltz, to live through the faults. Man, can I jump through all these vaults? Please trust the plan, I'll ditch the drugs and the scams. Cause battle and throttle, they go hand in hand. That was Lurch Waltz, based a little bit on Familiar by my father.
That was a beautiful song too.
It was.
It really had a
great.
kind of a Bob Dylan flavor.
It sure did. It was great.
Yeah.
Waltz to waltz. What was that line? To waltz through the
Walk
faults?
to waltz, to live through the faults.
I like that. Yep. Maybe you could publish these lyrics. They're very enjoyable. So
Yeah, yeah.
I should get on
Poems.
that, actually. Yeah.
pardon me?
I should do that because at some point I'm gonna forget what the words I wrote were,
Yeah.
and someone's gonna be like, "No, those are the right words." I did that to Jeff with Midnight Farmer, which was
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you really should. That would be worth it. That'd be very worth it. You know,
I just
have.
want to mention.
Go ahead.
Barb,
Yep.
can I just
Questions.
mention?
Yep.
I want to mention who else is listening tonight. We've got Steph Lee.
What's
Um,
Hi, Steph.
she's given us lots of awesome emojis. Marcia Gerlach from 99.1, our local community other radio station. They'll be playing this show on the radio. We've got Amelia Straub, Buddy Dumas, Jean Jarvis, and Hales Coors, John Ladkey, and let's see, and of course Pamela Jensen. So
What a
welcome
crowd.
everybody. I'm glad you're listening to the show. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You have anything
Right
to say
on.
to your friends out there in Facebook land, guys?
I gotta say thank you for tuning in on a Thursday night. Yeah, perfect timing for it, right?
Yeah.
Amelia wishes you a happy birthday.
Thank
So,
you very much.
Yeah.
Kayla.
all right, one more question I have, and then you know, Marcia Gerlach was asking where you're going to be playing this fall, if you have any gigs lined up. We could start with that.
So I know I'm in Kirokaya as guitarist, and I know that we are playing the Bob Marley birthday festival or show. I'm not sure when, though. Of course, Amelia and everyone else, Mike, Jeremy, Vinny would all know better than me, of course, than when it is. But yeah, I think we are playing that this year. And then I just have open mics Sunday, 12 to 2. That's about it.
All right. And what about
At
you?
that famous coffee shop? Yeah. What about you? Playing with.
I'll basically just be trying to play with Sylas. I don't have so,
Buskin.
Good
yeah.
Making
Good
dimes.
answer.
All right. Well, here's what I have written down about something else from your bio that you wrote, that you have an underlying picking melody that intertwines into a blend of sound. And as a slight change of pace, you joined the Central Wisconsin reggae band Kirokaya in 2021. And of course, that's how I learned about you, through that band. And so I asked John Ladkey if he had any questions for you. And he had said that when you were with Kirokaya, that you were able to play new songs with them without ever rehearsing them. And how do you do it, is what the question.
Okay, so one thing I had to learn in bluegrass is major scales. And if reggae's got anything, it's got major scales. But really the strumming pattern was the hardest, which was I had to watch John, who was clearly cultured in the aspect. And I had to like do a makeshift version of whatever he was doing, where it was like, where it's all what I learned on is not much different from that, because bluegrass is all about individual notes. And so like when they were like, you can play lead guitar, I was just doing stuff like that. And it just kind of divulged into a situation where I was able to memorize these chord progressions and just kind of go off as in any direction I felt like at the time, because they were open enough to be like, do it. And I'm like, like these guys are all known musicians I'm with, and like, I don't know, it's just, I needed them to push me into that stuff and stuff.
Well, it really brought the band into a new fun phase for them. I mean, they've changed through the years, but it really, your inclusion really was really fresh and great, as you know. So, because I'm a fan. Yeah. So I think you got a lot of fans out there. I don't want to, tell you too much about that, but I know you're really gaining some following. So
I'm trying to as much.
I got one more thing to say. Apparently it's is it Luke's birthday too?
It's not.
Luke, is it your
no.
birthday?
That'd be
One of our commenters said happy birthday to you as well. So whether it is or not, happy birthday.
Someone was
Luke.
just confused along the lines.
Okay. Okay. All right, we got one more. We got time for one more song. Can you tell us a little bit about this last song, guys?
All right, yeah. So this last one, it is a local legend. I'm gonna put it that way. It was written by my father and Jeff Sachs. It is one of my favorite songs of all time because I can never get it out of my head. It's Midnight Farmer. And I think a lot of this is implicit. So the explanation lies in the music itself and an explanation from my father, Gavin, and Jeff. But otherwise, yeah, it's just this like bluegrass tune I heard all my life. And I would be failing myself if I didn't try to learn it. And I did, and I really like it. Midnight farmer, out planting your seeds on a backwoods highway, all wrapped up in fatigues. Think they can catch you, yeah, but you still are free. Don't let them search you, not voluntarily. And every day I tread like a Rasta pickup truck. There's a shotgun whiskey, part of some biscuit I love. Russian fat man, no two-door-knob, handphone with the gun. Searching, seizing, criticizing, never find the sacrament. Midnight farmer, I believe in your dreams. The green blossom special, emancipate society. Duffel bag grower, redneck Rasta, on to Appalachia, with the soul of Jamaica. Down one roof, boy, hound dog, shiny ganja, shine still. Babylon sisters, lying hypocrites, watching eye and eye. Sunshine smiling, lights all blossoms, rainbows in the sky. Nazi flower boy, born of nature, father of the earth. Midnight farmer, watch your gun grow. Shepherd of the black sheep, keep your children home. Duffel bag grower, redneck Rasta, on to Appalachia, with the soul of Jamaica. Midnight farmer, shepherd of the black sheep. Midnight farmer, duffel bag grower. Midnight farmer, redneck Rasta. Midnight farmer, midnight